Good evening. Coming up tonight on our program, the search for Relisha from the airwaves. It's a missing child's case that may have turned near cold for Washington, D.C. police. 8-year-old Relisha Rudd, gone for 2 months now. But the community she's left behind is still waiting for her to come back home. One man leading the charge is a radio host. His story tonight, and why he cares so much about Relisha.
I'm going to keep it as long as it takes. I want to be sure that Relisha is found. Whatever the case may be, by any means necessary, I want to make sure that she's found.
Lori Jane Gliha joins me with her full report at the top of the hour right here on America Tonight. All right, every Friday we pull down to the very latest on the search for 8-year-old Relisha Rudd. May marks 2 months since her disappearance. The Washington, D.C. girl disappeared with a man who was working at the homeless shelter where she lived. Well, that man later turned up dead, and now it has been weeks since an exhaustive search in a nearby park. But many still haven't given up hope that Relisha could be alive. There's now a community push, even a radio show that is dedicated to bringing that little girl home. America Tonight's Lori Jane Gliha explains.
Welcome to the Finding Relisha radio show.
Every night, Monday through Friday, Keith Warren has an appointment on the air.
There are some things that need to be aired out tonight. I want to hear from my listeners.
The Washington, D.C. father is the host of a self-produced online blog talk radio show dedicated to discovering what happened to Relisha Rudd, the little girl he calls D.C.'s sweetheart. She's been missing since March.
What was it about Relisha's case that touched you?
Just the fact of the matter that I saw her smile from her picture, and it melted my heart. Any little kid that has like the most prettiest smile, the funniest laugh, you know, it just melts my heart.
For years, Keith Warren says he was a local wrestler who went by the tough name Crucifix. He hosted a regular wrestling radio program with a few hundred faithful followers each week. But when he learned the story of Relisha Rudd, a little girl living in a homeless shelter who disappeared with a shelter worker 2 months ago, it hit close to home. His own cousin went missing in 2010.
You know, just like my cousin's case, she just vanished without a trace. So it's mysterious. So when the police started asking for the citizens' help, I had to jump right in it.
Warren put his tough guy wrestling persona aside and switched up his show. He broadcasts from this nursing home and rehabilitation center, where he says he's been living while he recovers from problems with his legs.
Ladies and gentlemen, yesterday's show.
So basically, this is one of the shows. Normally, I would play a song before the show.
Now, for several hours each week, he plays Relisha's favorite music and takes questions and comments from listeners.
I pray and hope that this little girl has been found alive, well and healthy.
That's the right song.
He tackles the tough questions surrounding Relisha's disappearance and rallies the community to think of new ways to continue the search.
What do you think happened to Relisha Rudd?
Me personally, I think Relisha is still alive. I really believe that. And I really think that she's around here somewhere.
The show has become so popular, he says, even Relisha Rudd's own relatives have called in to participate.
If I knew where my daughter was, I would go find her.
This is the voice of Relisha's mother, he says, Shamika, defending herself and her lack of emotion when she speaks publicly.
I really don't have no more tears to let out. I feel like I'm dehydrated. I just keep crying. My body wants to shut down. I'm tired of dreaming about my daughter.
Warren says he's happy to have found a cause to help the community and hopes he can one day give Relisha a big welcome home hug. As long as people keep listening, he'll keep broadcasting, doing his best to bring Relisha home.
How long can you keep this up? I mean, what if they don't find Relisha?
I'm going to keep it as long as it takes. I want to be sure that Relisha is found. Whatever the case may be, by any means necessary.
You won't give up until then?
Never give up, do or die. That's what I always say.
With us now, America Tonight's Lori Jane Gleehan. What kind of impact is this internet radio show having? Are people listening to it?
Well, it's kind of interesting. You wouldn't think that a lot of people would know about how to get access to this, but he said when he was doing his wrestling show, it was like 300 to 800 people by the end of the week. But when he did the Relisha show, the very first time, he said right away there was a big spike, and it was like 1,300 people or more that looked at it. And then by the end of the week, he said he had gotten like 3,000 listeners. And he has a way of looking at it and logging it. So it's pretty... Yeah, so there's definitely an interest from the community because these people really care about this girl, want to know what happened, and it's such a mystery, and they want to find her and they want to bring her home.
Well, yeah, so much interest in the community that people are finding the ways to get the information through this internet radio show. But what about police? When's the last time there was a search? Have they released any new information on this case?
Yeah, it's been weeks since we've seen them do a major search. You know, they closed off Kenilworth Park several weeks ago, and they did this massive search where they had volunteers that came out, but we haven't seen them do that in recent days. I did talk to them. I asked them what is the status of this case, and they just continue to say they're dedicated to trying to bring Relisha home, but they haven't given any more details and input on what they're doing. And I also asked, do they listen to this radio show? Because he's had some of these people on there, like the family members and people that might have information or that are close to Relisha and that would be interesting, but they would not say whether or not they have detectives listening.
Did they say if this is a cold case, is it still open?
I don't think they're going to call it a cold case, and I don't think they'll do that for a while, especially with the community being so active and involved. And actually, the guy that runs this radio show said in a couple of weeks he wants to do a vigil again, and they've been doing regular things in the community to bring people out and just to make sure this case stays alive.
And that case is so desperate for new leads right now. Okay, America Tonight's Lori Jane Gleehan, thank you.